Tatiana and I had been together for 3 years. We met at a friend's birthday party where she accidentally spilled her drink on my shirt. Instead of being embarrassed, she laughed and offered to buy me a new one. That's how we started talking, and from that night we never stopped. Our relationship wasn't just about going to movies or having dinner dates. We spent hours planning our life together. Every Sunday morning, we would sit on her apartment balcony with coffee and talk about our future. She wanted 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. I wanted 2, but seeing her eyes light up when she talked about a big family made me want whatever she wanted. We had picked out names already. James for our first son, after her grandfather who raised her. Sarah for a daughter, because we both loved how simple and beautiful it sounded. We even argued playfully about middle names, with her insisting on family traditions while I wanted something more modern. The house we dreamed about would have a big backyard. Tatiana loved gardening and wanted space to grow tomatoes and flowers. I wanted a garage where I could work on cars during weekends. We had driven around different neighborhoods, pointing at houses and saying things like, "Our kitchen will be bigger than that," or, "I love those windows for our living room." Money was tight, but we were saving. Every month we put away whatever we could into our future fund. Sometimes it was only $50. Other times we managed $200. We kept track in a notebook, and Tatiana would draw little hearts next to each entry. She calculated that in 2 more years we would have enough for a small wedding and a down payment on a house. Her parents loved me. Her mother would call me her second son, and always cooked extra food when I visited. Her father and I would watch football together while Tatiana and her mother planned wedding details in the kitchen. They had already started collecting ideas for decorations, even though I hadn't officially proposed yet. But everyone knew it was coming. I had been saving for a ring, visiting jewelry stores during my lunch breaks. My family adored her too. My mother, who never liked any of my previous girlfriends, would light up whenever Tatiana walked through the door. They would cook together, and Tatiana learned all my mother's recipes. My younger sister looked up to her, like the older sister she never had. Even my grandmother, who barely spoke English, would hold Tatiana's hand and smile whenever she visited. We had our struggles like any couple. Sometimes we argued about small things. She thought I played video games too much. I thought she spent too long getting ready. But we always made up before going to bed. That was our rule. Never sleep angry at each other. I remember the exact moment when everything changed. It was a Tuesday evening. I had gotten home early from work because my boss let everyone leave after we finished a big project. I wanted to surprise Tatiana with dinner from her favorite Thai restaurant. While waiting for the food, I was scrolling through Facebook on my phone. That's when I saw it. On a post about relationships, someone had commented asking for serious women to connect with. Below his comment was a reply from an account I recognized immediately. It was Tatiana's. Her profile picture showed her smiling face, the same photo I had taken of her during our vacation last summer. Her comment read, "Hey handsome, I'm a single lady looking for something real. Feel free to message me if you're serious about finding love." My hands started shaking. I thought maybe someone had hacked her account. But when I clicked on her profile, I saw more comments. So many more. Under a photo of a man showing off his new car, she had written, "Nice ride, sweetheart. A successful man like you must be looking for a good woman. I'm right here waiting." On another post, where someone asked where all the good women had gone, she replied, "Right here, baby. Just waiting for the right man to find me." Each comment was like a knife in my chest. The worst part was how recent they were. Some were from just hours ago, when she had texted me saying she was busy at work. While I was at my job thinking about her, she was online calling strangers handsome and baby. I kept scrolling, finding more and more. Under a post about loneliness, she wrote, "I know how you feel. Being single is hard, but I believe the right person is out there for both of us." Under a fitness photo, she commented, "Looking good. A fit man like you deserves a woman who takes care of herself too. Check your DMs. I sent you something special." My mind was racing. This couldn't be real. This wasn't the Tatiana I knew. The woman who held my hand during scary movies, who left sweet notes in my lunchbox, who cried happy tears when I surprised her with flowers at her office. I wanted to call her immediately, but I needed to see more. I needed to understand what was happening. I went through weeks of her activity. The pattern was always the same. She would find posts from single men or men complaining about relationships, and she would comment as if she was available and interested. What hurt most was that some of these men had replied to her. They thanked her for reaching out. Some said they had messaged her privately. She would respond with winking faces and hearts, telling them she was excited to chat more in private. Meanwhile, her posts on her main timeline were all about us. Photos from our dates with captions about being blessed. Pictures of the flowers I sent her with long paragraphs about having the best boyfriend. It was like she was living two different lives online. I sat there for hours, my food getting cold on the counter. I couldn't eat. I felt sick to my stomach. Everything I believed about our relationship was crumbling. How long had this been going on? How many men had she been talking to? What did she say in those private messages she kept mentioning? The apartment we shared suddenly felt different. I looked around at our photos on the walls, the matching cups we bought together, the blanket her grandmother made for us. Everything felt like a lie now. When she came home that night, she was her usual cheerful self. She kissed me hello and started talking about her day like nothing was wrong. She mentioned how tired she was from all the meetings at work. The same work where she claimed to be busy while leaving flirty comments for strangers online. I couldn't bring myself to confront her that night. I needed time to process what I had discovered. I barely slept, replaying every moment of our relationship in my head. Were there signs I had missed? Had she been pretending this whole time? The next few days were torture. She would cuddle with me on the couch, talking about wedding venues she had researched. She showed me pictures of dresses she liked, asking for my opinion. All I could think about were those comments calling other men handsome and telling them she was single. I started paying more attention to her phone habits. She was always on it, but now I wondered who she was talking to. When notifications popped up, she would quickly flip her phone over. Was she hiding conversations with these men? Our physical intimacy felt different too. When she held my hand or kissed me, I wondered if she did the same with others. When she said, "I love you," I questioned if she meant it, or if it was just another performance like her relationship posts online. I began pulling away without meaning to. She noticed and asked if everything was okay. I made excuses about being stressed at work. She offered to give me massages and cook my favorite meals, being the perfect girlfriend. But how could I enjoy her care when I knew what she was doing behind my back? The trust we had built over 3 years was gone. I found myself checking her social media constantly, looking for new comments. Each one felt like catching her in the act all over again. She was still at it, still presenting herself as available to any man who showed interest. What confused me most was why she stayed with me if she wanted other men. We weren't rich, but we were happy. Or at least I thought we were. I gave her all my attention, supported her dreams, and loved her family like my own. What more could she want? I thought about all the times she had access to my phone, my social media, everything. I had nothing to hide because I was committed to her completely. I never even looked at other women because in my eyes she was everything I needed. But apparently, I wasn't enough for her. While I was turning down invitations to go out with single friends because I preferred spending time with her, she was actively seeking attention from other men online. While I was proud to be taken, she was pretending to be available. The future we planned now seemed like a joke. How could I marry someone who portrayed herself as single online? How could I have children with someone who couldn't be faithful even in our dating stage? How could I buy a house with someone who might be planning to leave me for the next man who responded to her comments? Our relationship became a shell of what it used to be. We still lived together, still went through the motions, but the magic was gone. When she talked about our future, I just nodded instead of adding my own ideas. When she showed me wedding things, I pretended to be interested while feeling dead inside. The worst part was that she seemed completely unaware of the damage she had done. She continued living as if everything was perfect, posting about our relationship online, while simultaneously telling strangers she was single and looking. I realized that she was living for the image, not the reality. Our relationship was just a placeholder for her, something to have while she searched for something better. I was good enough to plan with, to introduce to family, to share an apartment with, but not good enough to be faithful to. The woman I fell in love with didn't exist. She was just a character Tatiana played when she was with me. The real Tatiana was the one leaving those comments, the one who couldn't be satisfied with one man's attention, the one who needed validation from strangers on the internet. Now I'm stuck in a relationship that feels like a lie, with a woman who loves me only when it's convenient for her. The future we planned is dead, killed by her need for attention from other men. The trust is gone, replaced by doubt and pain. The love I felt has turned into disappointment and betrayal. I know I need to leave, but part of me keeps hoping this is all a misunderstanding. Maybe there's an explanation I haven't thought of. Maybe the woman I fell in love with is still in there somewhere. But deep down, I know the truth. She showed me who she really is through those comments, and I just refuse to accept it. This is what betrayal feels like. Not a dramatic confrontation or a big fight, but a quiet discovery that changes everything. The person you trusted most in the world isn't who you thought they were. The future you planned together was built on lies. The love you thought was mutual was just one-sided. I'm sharing this story because I need someone to understand what I'm going through. My friends wouldn't believe me if I told them. Tatiana is so good at playing the perfect girlfriend role that everyone thinks we're the ideal couple. But I know the truth now, and it's eating me alive. Love shouldn't feel like this. Love shouldn't make you question everything. Love shouldn't involve pretending to be single online while planning a wedding offline. What we have isn't love anymore. It's just two people playing roles, and I'm tired of pretending everything is okay when my heart's completely broken.